Hi, and welcome to another episode of SolidBox TV. I'm Chris Castle, and today we're going to take a look at the Dell M2800 and the Dell M3800. So we've had the pleasure of owning and testing both the M2800 and the M3800 these last few months. And we thought it was time for a real thorough review and the SolidBox take on these wonderful workstations. So let's get into the details right away. Let's talk about the form factor of these two workstations. These are both 15.6-inch displays. However, there are significant differences in the overall size and feel of these workstations. First off, on the M2800, it's 1.3 inches thick. All right, it weighs 5.7 pounds. The construction is mainly plastic, has an aluminum chassis. It's a great feeling laptop. However, the M3800 is a significantly different construction. It's all aluminum. There's a carbon fiber epoxy style base plate. It feels a lot higher quality than the 2800. As a result, this system, the 3800, is only 0.71 inches thick, and it weighs as little as 4.7 pounds. So significant differences right there. The next thing I want to talk about are the graphics options. Now on the Dell M2800, it's positioned to be a very affordable workstation for the masses. So rather than using the NVIDIA card that we typically use at SolidBox, Dell has positioned this with an AMD FirePro card. In particular, they use the AMD FirePro W4170M card, okay? Now, on the 3800, we have a NVIDIA Quadro K1100M video card. Let's talk a little bit more about the AMD graphics card that's in the M2800. So, for years we've known that the AMD cards are superior in terms of performance when compared to the NVIDIA cards. However, it's always been a matter of driver support and general support from AMD with their product with regards to SolidWorks. The AMD card in this case is no slouch. It has definitely comparable performance to the K1100M card that's in this system. But as far as specs go, the clock speed on the AMD FirePro is 670 megahertz, running 384 cores, all right? The K1100M card is running at a clock speed of 705 megahertz, and that's slightly more than this card, but again, same number of cores. So both these graphics cards have 2 gigabytes of DDR memory, and that's going to do you great when handling large assemblies in SolidWorks. So those graphics cards are powering 2 different types of displays. On the M2800, the display that we ship with our SolidBox systems is a standard high definition display. So it's 1920 by 1080. It's considered a full high definition display by SolidWorks' standard. We have an anti-glare LED backlit panel, which is really great for fatigue. You notice it's anti-glare. On the 3800, it's a glossy display which can really look great. You can really just get some amazing images out of it. However, there can be some fatigue that you get. And in this case with the 3800, let's talk about the display options you have here. So just like the 2800, we have a 1920 by 1080 option. That's actually our standard preferred resolution display that we ship with our SolidBox systems. And we do that because we find that the 1920 by 1080 display, or resolution I should say, works perfectly for SolidWorks. It's the most, your circles look like circles, they don't look like ovals, and the icons are the perfect size. They're not too tiny so you can't quite see them and develop eye fatigue. There is a higher display option for this. You can go all the way up to a 3200 by 1800 resolution on the 3800, which is awesome if you did Photoshop work all day long. If you worked on very intricate high resolution graphics all day long, that's a display you would probably go for. Okay, in either case, it's going to be that K1100M graphics card that pushes this system. So let's talk about processor options on these 2 workstations. On the M2800, because it's an economy-based system meant for the masses, we tend to go down on processor speed a little bit, but at no compromise to your performance really. The 2 families that are available are the i5, which is the Intel i5 processor, which is going to get the price really low. In the i5 family, you can go all the way up to an Intel Core i5 4310M chip, which is great. But the build that we have here at SolidBox is with the Core i7, and that's the 4810 MQ processor. And The standard clock speed on that's going to be 2.8 gigahertz, but with the turbo boost mode, it will go as fast as 3.8 gigahertz. So it's a very, very powerful little laptop. On the M3800, the processor, we're limited only to the i7 family. This is really meant, this whole form factor is meant for the person who is going to travel a lot, but also wants the best. So the 3800 is definitely for that person, and so as a result, we only put the i7 in here. And the processor we choose again is the 4712HQ. Okay, it's a quad-core proc. Its baseline is 2.3, and it goes all the way up to 3.3 gigahertz in turbo boost mode. It's a little slower than this processor. However, it's also lower voltage, and as a result, the battery life on this is significantly longer. We'll talk about battery life in a little bit. So those are two processor options.